from Rahway, New Jersey, and I'm here to talk about the park and the football field that you want to put in. I can't believe that 10 members here, plus the city council of Rahway, have decided that 3,000 people so far do not want in our park. We want to enjoy the peace and quiet. I've been there, I was there yesterday again, I was there again this morning, informing people of what is going on. A lot of people still are not aware of it, and people are concerned. And when I come in the weekend, they said, what's going to happen when I want to play soccer with my family? I believe you can forget it, because there's going to be a big football field and a track field out there that you're not going to be able to use. And my thoughts are, there must be something more to this than UCI. Obviously, there might be something, I'll use the word shady, going on. They seem to have fired the coach, or they released Mr. Mobley from the football coach, who's been a coach at Rahway High School for 11, 12 years. And there is something in the New Jersey Haven, New Jersey Hoop Haven, and it says, we have seen this move before, and it usually goes like this. Someone powerful in the district is tight with somebody who wants the job. And they waited to ambush the incumbent until they finally had a down season, which obviously Rahway, they told me, had a down season this year. And it's strange that Antonio Garou's name has been mentioned, who is a professional football player who has not been picked up by anybody, and whose father, Carlos Garou, who happens to be on our school board, they're thinking of him as our new football coach. Was he promised a state-of-the-art football field to sign a contract? The Garous are a very powerful, wealthy family in Rahway, and they run a lot of politics. And it just seems strange that his name should come up as somebody who might be considered for the next football coach. It has been mentioned that there are engineers that know that you can fix the field that floods, and nobody seems to be concerned about the garden apartments that are adjacent to that field. Those people live there, that's their home. And if the field floods, obviously their apartments flood. The Rahway bought the Hamilton Laundry, which is a flood area. What did the Rahway do? They put up an amphitheater, which we need another art center in Rahway, like I need a hole in it. And now, you know darn well as I do, I know the city of Rahway, and we have a schlemiel that came into the mayor, that they are most certainly going to build something on that Veterans Field. Mark my word, when the Rahway Library flooded, what did they put up? They put up tennis courts. They put the library down in town, which you go during, I can't even find a parking spot down there anymore. I have to go at night, and I'm retired, so I have to go at night to the library to find a parking spot, or go in at lunchtime and hope somebody has left the area so you can get a parking spot. So the city of Rahway always has an alternative motive as to what they're going to do with something. You go downtown, oh, now they're going to propose more buildings, and half the town's been ripped down. They took out the tackle shop. He begged them to let him stay there. He said, oh no, he said, let me stay. When you want the building, I'll leave. Well, that was 5 years ago, and his building's still empty. They put him somewhere else, and they stole his property from eminent domain. So, you know, no matter what, the Rahway, they always say that we're progressive and we're moving forward, but the moving and taking over the only green space that we have is not moving forward. They could go to Greenfield, put the football field there, but obviously somebody of importance lives in that neighborhood, obviously, and they don't want that noise and those stadium lights that will be shining all over. And at Rahway Park, when those lights go on in the fall, when there's no leaves on those trees, that would help the people that are paying high taxes in Clark that line that field. They bought those houses for peace and quiet and the serenity that's in their backyard. Well, once you put a field in, that's going to disappear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Good evening. My name is Bob Carson from Rahway. I'm here to the Coalition to Save Rahway Park to make some of the information was dug up, but again, I have to take a position on this information sheet. Again, it's written by a public relations person, firm, whatever, and it doesn't really address the issue. In number 2, it says the city of Rahway has proposed adding amenities, which it describes as aluminum bleachers. Well, it doesn't mention the 3 buildings and the scoreboard and the sound system and the press box that's going to be there also as amended. It mentions in number 3 that there will be a 4-foot chain link fence around the area. Well, this is a point of contention, and I'll get back to this, but we have seen contracts that call for a 6-foot chain link fence. So if there's a 4-foot fence, it has been decided by somebody else, not us, or the people who are paying for this with their taxes. And I'll get back to that point also. And number 5, it doesn't mention, it talks about flooding with a turf field, but it doesn't mention the potential toxicity of the turf fields. I'm a longtime soccer coach, and you should know that FIFA, the World Soccer Federation, does not allow international games to take place on anything but natural turf. Most soccer players hate playing on AstroTurf, or not AstroTurf, the artificial turf. And football players don't like it either because it's too hard. There are injuries with it. Not to mention all the questions of toxicity, which I don't want to address right now because it would be too much to address in a very short time. And then finally, in number 7, in the last sentence there, it says something about a path and 2-lane roads that physically separate the facility from wetlands, forests, and other important habitat in the park. Anybody who knows anything about environmental activity knows that a road does not separate anything from anything else, environmental. So, you know, this it shows the wrong kind of attitude. Now, last couple of weeks I've been trying to get information on what this project actually is, and it's very hard to get. I finally spoke to the Rahway business administrator and asked her, where can I get details about this? And she said, I don't know. And I said, well, can you give me a contact name at the city level and the county level where we can get some information about this and about the details that are proposed for the final solution, whatever that may be. And she said, I'm the person from Rahway, and I don't know any details. And I don't know who we should talk to on the county level. So this process is going on behind our backs as our tax money is being appropriated to build this project. It is not a democratic way to proceed. This is the tax money of Raleigh citizens, Union County citizens, and as far as I know, practically nobody has had any input on this. We've been giving out material in the park, and when we started out, I would say 95% of the people we met had no knowledge of this project. And now, after lots of time and leaflets, maybe it's down to 70% of the people we see in the park have no knowledge of it. But I'm sure that most people in Rahway who don't go to the park have no idea what's going on here. Okay, I was doing some more research, and you may know that in Woodbridge, there's a large project going on to refurbish a lot of the county structures. And at the Avenel Middle School, they have a project that was just finished, about to be used, where they refurbished a field, built 2 gigantic cricket fields, and refurbished a combined soccer, football, baseball field for the middle school. And these are built with natural turf, or to be used with natural turf. And in the case of the cricket fields, it used to be a soccer field, which I have coached teams on, which was a soggy mess. And what's happened is they leveled it off, and the whole project is ready for $500,000. Why can't
Very
this
much
be
for your
$100?
comments.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard? I say this before. Recognize the need facility for children already in the county area. As we see in some of our world events, you are providing hope to the people that need tremendously. And I also want to throw the emphasis on education of it. We have first-class facilities. You can expect greatness, you can fulfill your potential, you can compete. And it is a need in Galway, badly, and I'm glad that you recognize the need, because our kids are suffering from a feeling of not being involved, feeling of not being counted, feeling worthy. And this investment that you're making, I'm proud to stand in support of it. Too many times with certain parts of our community is neglected. And I tell people to get involved with the local government, express your concern with the possibilities. People just don't know what's possible out here. And I think this is a step in the right direction. We need county the whole will benefit from a first-class facility. Our children can feel as though they are counted. People care enough about them to invest in them. And I think that's way to build up a community, to provide them with a facility where they can build their full potential. And it's sort of that many people recognize that we build something by it.
Thank you very much for your comment. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Hello, freeholders. I'm Jeff Freeman. I live at the Antonio Drive in Rahway. Rahway River Park is my neighbor, but I don't speak merely because my property value will be damaged or my piece of property in my home will be damaged, but because I love this park. I have a physical thrill to be able to hear the birds singing, to see them flying around, to look at the trees in blossom as they are now and in all seasons. It is well known walking around or jogging or whatever it is in a natural environment like that reduces stress. You're alive and you live longer. This has been proven scientifically, and we know it in our feelings if we have been in the park and love it and use it. I hope that all of you, ladies and gentlemen, go to the park in every season and walk around slowly and get a feeling of what it's like in the park, and not just make legislation and make contracts around it like a pilot sitting in front of a computer waging a drone war half around the park. As for the issue of parking, repeatedly you say again in the leaflet that no additional parking is needed. I haven't the foggiest idea where those cars will go. I have photographs here taken this week, which I'll be glad to give to you so you can see yourself, but you should go to the park and see it. This is a bunch of cars parked bumper to bumper on Monday. Monday, the least used day, a blustery day in the spring. It's not a weekend, it's not the summer, it's not a holiday. It's a blustery weekend, Monday in the spring. I counted 177 cars parked. Now, yesterday, today, it's practically bumper to bumper all around. Where are you going to put those cars? What is hiding behind no parking is needed? And also, if you ever take your life in your hands and make a left turn out of the park on St. George's Avenue or on Valley Road, how are you going to get all those cars in and out in a short time? Because now they filter in over a period of time with various uses. The park is fully utilized. There is no room for this in terms of the people or the, okay, now, that's exhibit one. I would like to give you these photographs so you can look over when I'm finished. Talk about maintenance upgrading, okay? When your roof is leaking, do you build a new porch or do you fix the roof? If your daughter is sick, do you buy her a bunch of new dresses or do you pay the doctor bills? This is a maple tree near Softball Field number 1, which has gone untreated for years with a fungal infection that comes back every year and will destroy it. This is a trip hazard which has been there for months on the bridge over the outlet of the pond into Rahway River. And speaking of what the people will do, you go around the park, if you know the park, you see a lot of littering, okay? What's it going to be with huge crowds of kids? Kids do this even with their parents watching. I've seen it time after time. Talk about maintenance and vandalism, which will increase with this. Somebody, I don't know if the Army Corps or whatever, but it's a county park and the county should have some say over it, quote unquote, stabilized some of the banks where that outlet from the pond that goes under the bridge and into the river. the rocks themselves with the big rocks just stuffed in there without properly stabilizing them. And here is a photograph of many of those rocks, big and large ones, thrown into the stream bed by the kids, sometimes with their parents watching. This kind of thing is going to go on over and over in greater and greater with more people coming in. As I say, I love the park. Now here's something in the New York Times today. New York plans to save energy by reducing the lights. This is a resolution in the city council.
For your comments, you can hand those documents to our clerk.
I certainly will.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
I live by Rahway Park. Why can't they have a site plan to show what the football field look like? I know every project that they do, they gotta have a site plan. This way, exactly why they got something to hide. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in that park. I love that park. The field is a nice open. Yesterday I spent 2 hours there, picking all the branches, they put by the street. All the time I walk, I clean up all the mess that they make. I don't know what they got to hide. They should make a nicer sign and put in the parking exactly what they built. And after they do, every project they do, they gotta have a site plan. They gotta show what's going on. Oh yeah, why they hide? Something is going on, And then they made it away. I see yesterday I read in the paper the kind of tax they're gonna go up. At least $50 for every house in the country. You should save the money, not spend the money. Then you go away, they spend so much money, they talk about the town. You go to that town, the town is dead. You go any time during the day, you don't see nobody. Today I was talking to some lady, she lives right by where the football field is right now. And we talk about it. She said, I live in the flooded zone. She said, instead the city to go spend money, why not put a wall? She said over there, that way they don't get flooded in the house. He said they go waste the money, he said, we still get a flood. And I can't even sell my house because it's in the flood zone. I don't understand how it works. They waste the money. Now they talk about the incinerator, the gentleman before. The incinerator they built in Rahway, the garbage is $120 a ton to dump over there. You can take out of the county for $60, but you can't because they give you a fine. You gotta go over there away, you gotta pay more for your garbage. The sewer plant, the same thing. This side, the sewer plant, the 25 million, it costs 125 million. Now with this bill, they say 5 million, you gotta be 10 million. That's the way they work. Instead of to save money, they're wasting money. That's all I gotta tell you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your comments. As I said on a prior week, we're not there in the process yet. That's why some of the documents you're requesting for doesn't exist yet. We're not there.
But when did that be? When did I put this sign? This is the site plan.
When we have it.
When did that happen?
Right.
My name's Sam Jesse, well, in here, Parkside Park. I would hope there was somebody on the freeholders that are really support the parks, all right? I know there is, we want to build a lot of things. We don't need a stadium at all. Look, I need a stadium at all. They want to mess around with down there by the field, they want to fix those engineers that are out there willing to use, Veterans Field, to fix that field, all right? And also by the hospital up there, the field over there, you guys are welcome to do what you want, knock yourself out with that. But what are these lights going to do to this park, the people surrounding this park? I'm originally from Linden, I've been in Rowan for 47 years, I was a Linden resident. Down in the ball fields there, down the trip, we call it Tremley Farm. My mom was there, 93 years old. She lives on Tremley 20 Road. The lights go on, she thinks it's a daytime already, she's 93 years old. It goes to her house, in her house. She said, yeah, they do go to ball. Okay? What is these floodlights going to do to the environmental system within our parks and with our wildlife? They're going to think they're in Alaska. Okay? You know what I mean? And the birds, our wildlife here, it's been destroyed. I'm a fisherman. I love to go down and we catch and release man, catch fish, put them back in the pond. We have a ball. We got grandkids come to the park. We love the park. We don't want this destroyed. buy a stadium that's going to be built in this park. And also, we talked to a lot of people that go to the park, use the park, even the people out of Union County. So they can't believe what's going on. A lot of people don't even know about it. And also, we talked to the people at the ballparks. We were there this weekend watching 9. We talked to the guys that, you know, have the ball games there. And a lot of them didn't even know about it, okay? And they're finally learning about it, and we're passing out stuff. And we want people to be notified of what's really going on in this park. The people that walk, they got no idea what's going on in there. So, like I said, and also there's one more thing I want to bring up is about I don't know if you guys know about it, it's a 3 acres trail that comes from, I think it comes from Kenilworth. It goes across into Rahway Park, which a lot of people follow the trails in that park, okay? And they come from different areas, and it's been there for many, many years, probably before any of us were born, okay? And a lot of people use that trail, all right, to go through the park. And they ride their bicycles, they have fun, and we have picnic grounds, and we just enjoy the park. We don't want to stay in there. Put it somewhere else. Fix the other field. I know, there's got to be engineers out there that can do this. We know there is. Matter of fact, we talked to people about this. Engineers that will fix that. So that's just about all I want to say, but thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your answer.
Yes, John Odom from Rahway, and this is the reason why I actually came tonight. We also would like to address the issue in the park, and I am in favor of what's going to be put in there. I also grew up in Rahway. I've lived there approximately 58 years, and I think this is something that the kids in our community need. I think it's something that the kids in all of Union County need. This is a partnership. This is something that's just going to affect Rahway. This is going to open up opportunities for all kids to play there. We have outgrown Veterans Field. We just have. It's not there anymore. We all know that nobody wants something right in their backyard. Where I want it, where I live, it's there too. We go through changes all the time. This is going to be another change. We all complain about the kids do this, the kids do that. This is an opportunity to give the kids someplace to go, someplace to play. Rahway Park is something that we all treasure in town. All of Union County does. We all spend time there. When I'm not teaching, I walk in that park also. But it is time that we move on. This is a partnership. Every person in this county will have the opportunity to use it. It's just not for Rahway. It's for everybody. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Patricia Valino, also a Rahway resident. I'm the former track coach from Rahway High School for 15 years. I've spent many, many hours there. Hours on Sundays, hours on weekends, hours in the evenings. We've maintained that track the best that we could. We've picked up goose droppings, we've picked up the litter ourselves as a team. It's hard to maintain, and we are so thankful that this is coming. We were so excited when we read about the opportunity, and this is simply putting the athletic teams of Rahway on equal playing fields with almost every other township in the county. There's very few that don't have this type of facility. This would also be the only facility of its kind in the county, so we're looking forward to hosting Union County Championships, Union County events, where we don't have to pay monies to one town or to King University to host these events. Athletics provides opportunities for many of our students. The bands will benefit from this field. This provides opportunity for many students. There are many, many people who are excited. Gary Mobley and I have coached alongside each other for 15 years. He's the track coach. I doubt he's looking at this as a part of a way to get rid of him. That's what's implied. We're excited. I came here to thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had different speech made out, but I want to comment on the young lady that's here. I don't think we're opposed to young athletes.
Can you say your name and state of
Adeline Tropiano, Clark, New Jersey.
Thank you very much.
I don't think general public is opposed to the young athletes of Union County. What we are opposing is the facility that is being projected for this area. Buildings for bathrooms and locker rooms, lighting, concession stands. These are not things that the athletes need. They need a football field. They need a new track. They need baseball fields. They need soccer fields. The proposed venue, the venue that's being proposed is more than that. Let's put things in perspective for everyone.
State your name and address.
Hi, my name is Rosemary Makoviak. I currently reside at 2089 Church Street in Rahway, New Jersey. Prior to this, I lived in Elizabeth, and I used to frequent a park that was very close by that had a dilapidated football stadium. And I often wondered if they ever had anything there or what the purpose was of this monstrosity as I walked around the track that went by this dilapidated stadium. I currently now have scraped up the money and I live in Rahway, and I'm proud to say that I really do wish that the kids have a place to play, because when you live in Elizabeth, you don't really have any place. But they have a place right now, and they should be proud of where they have. I was very proud of the high school that I went to, and we had a field, and it was right outside our door. We could go out there and have people come and watch and cheer on and everything else. But now you're taking it to an area that is going to be shared with all the residents of the county as well as other parts of the state. And I don't think it's fair to the children to have to share that either, especially when I look at the rooms in that park that could have been a beautiful park. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Richard Masita, born and raised in Raleigh. I played football in Veterans Field in the 80s. It was subpar then. My kids play soccer in Greenfield, so they play on a washboard. My grandkids are now playing on Greenfield. Back in the 80s, we were promised, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better. Hopefully now, those words come true. It's going to get better. Now, I know there are some people going back and forth with the lights and traffic and so forth. I really don't think the light's going to be on 24 hours a day. I'm sure they'll be off like 10 o'clock. As far as traffic, I'm sure the traffic will be held by the police. But once again, let's start moving forward. Stop with the promises. Just build some good parks for these kids. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard?
I'd like to address your flyer, your information you put out. You say here that the project is not a full stadium. So I went over to Linden where they have their high school football field is set up, and they have, it's a full-size field with an 8-lane track. It's got seating for about 1,000 people. It's got stadium lights. It's pretty much like what you're talking about doing. And so here are pictures of it. And with the press box, the light towers, 18 light fixtures on 6 towers, 200 feet in the air. These little amenities like these buildings for locker rooms and concession stands. Here's another building. Here's another building that's about the size of one of the ones they're talking about building 20 by 36. I think they're talking 36 by 36. So by any stretch of the imagination, this is a stadium, and that's what you're planning to put in the center of the field. So it's the same size. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. You also mentioned the fact that the fence is not going to be locked. Everything I read about turf fields, Most communities start out that they don't lock them. They're going to be open, everybody's going to use them. But what happens is through vandalism, which creates, damages the fields, and they're so expensive to fix that these towns, it doesn't take much to do $10,000 worth of damage to one of these. And the towns ultimately, in a year or two, say, we have to lock this up. And that's what they do. You talk about that this is an upgrade to an existing track, original to the park design signed by Peter Gallagher of Olmsted. And so that this is supposed to be the embodiment of the 1925 design. But later on, in the last paragraph, you say, development of the park began in the 20s, and by 1940, it achieved its active character was fully realized. Track and field, baseball, tennis courts, and fully equipped swimming pool complex. So which one is it? Point 1 or point 2? You talk about bleachers. Say, by way of context, because we've been complaining that these bleachers can be huge. Even though the transfer was well over 5,000 seats, now it's 1,200 seats, a lot of people. You say, well, the park already has bleachers, so it's not that big a deal. This is what the bleachers look like in the park, okay? They seat about 20 people. So the bleachers you're talking about building are going to be 60 times the size. You talk about modern turf fields let stormwater flow through as with existing grass. The only thing is when the water goes through the existing grass, all the toxic stuff that comes out of the air gets purified through the root system of the grass and goes down into the water table where it flows off. When it's going to go through this, what I call toxic toupee, the water is going to be carrying contaminants away with it across the field through stormwater runoff. But you say all the wetlands and the habitats and everything are protected by this road that wraps around the center part. Well, when you go over to the site of the field, you can see that the whole field pitches over toward the east side of the park, and it runs into the road, where of course it is like runs into Moses' ditch or something. It doesn't go any further, except that you have pipes that are in the ground, just like a culvert, where the water flows into this pipe. It flows under the road. It comes out the other side of the road and flows into the creek, into the marshland. Okay? Then that's one location. There's another location about 100 feet down the road, again, where the pitch of the grade comes through. And you have a drain in the road, and you have the curb cut away, so the water can flow into this drain. Flows under the road, into the marshland on the other side, and then flows down that marshland to the bridges and winds up in the pond.
Thank you very much for your time. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
My name's Bill Baker, resident of Rowan, and I'm a proud member of the coalition to save Rowan Park. And I just want to thank the people that are doing this. Their research is very good. They're really fighting big odds to try to get information. And a lot of the stuff that they have are facts, not just and you're getting all kinds of different information, 6-foot fence, 4-foot fence, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, they'll give you 5,000, no, it's going to be one. I heard it's 600. I mean, we're having a sandbox here. The thing is, we're not against kids having a park, we're not against a football field, but a stadium is different. Okay, you're talking, the lady that spoke before about the fact that this is such a huge thing, the lights, bleachers, fences, and everything else, and the bands and everything else they have, that is monumental to this block. And there are other places that you can put it, that's probably even cheaper. And people do a lot of good things to people, you hear everybody coming and complimenting the things that you've done, and that's good, and you do. But I hate to see them say, when this thing is built, what the hell would they think? You know, I think they really should look at some of the things that people are saying. We started off small, we're over 3,000 people now on our petition list. And we're even doing more things to get more people. Next time I come here, you will see that 3,000 has changed. hire. So there's a lot of people that didn't know that are saying, wait a minute now, this is something that we want to think about a little bit. And I think the people should think about it too, what you're doing, what it's going to affect. There's a lot of other things that you can do. There's still way to get some football fields, still way to put it in the right place. So I beg you, please think about it seriously. These people are doing a lot of hard work, and they need some respect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm David Brown. I live at 353 East Stern Street in Rowan, New Jersey. What I wanted to do is just take a few minutes to clear the air on a few things in which I heard, especially what I heard from another person saying that she's a resident of Rahway. And I think that, I don't know what you mean, but
You can speak directly to me.
okay, I'm sorry, excuse me. Well, the woman that was speaking before about Rahway. And I have a lot of pride in what we do in Rahway. And when she said, especially about the Gray family, the Brown family, the two large families in Rahway that has been given back to that community for many, many years. And Antonio Gray was a professional football player. I said, was that going to be like for him to get a job of being the coach? And let me tell you, you know, Mr. Mosley, he's still with the school district and he's a track coach. But the Rahway Board of Education has hired Brian Russo from Woodbridge to be the coach. So I just wanted to bring that to her attention. And I'd like for people to get the facts as much as you can, but, you know, go along as what we have to do. The other gentleman that I wanted to say was that Bob Carson, that I've known for quite some time, that I've worked with on many of projects. And he knows what it is of Rahway taking the blunt of the incinerator, and I'm quite sure maybe he would explain that to the people of Clark also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone